And welcome back, guys, to our Unity update. As you guys know, we just announced that we just tested X for our live streams, and that's what we're primarily going to focus on. However, we're going to have plenty of these smaller short video clips as well, but we want to have a consistent presence on X, as this is kind of the new social media platform that is being established. We want to be on the ground floor of that and start doing live streams. Eventually, once we're a little more experienced with our software, we'll have guests on and we'll start making it a lot more engaging and fun. For the first initial 3 ones, we'll just do some live streams and kind of cover all the hot topics. It was kind of cool to see the test version up there. It was kind of in pink tab. It's really easy to see. Should be able to kind of grow our user base pretty quickly, since we'll be one of the first projects really doing live streams, and that's kind of the goal with that. A lot to cover, guys, ton to cover. So I'm just going to cover pretty much where things are at currently. Obviously, the staking is live. Liquidity has essentially doubled, which is phenomenal. And that's going to be our primary focus, is the liquidity, increasing liquidity. You guys saw that the frictionless yield was reactivated a couple weeks ago. Guys, that's huge. It may not seem like it now, but once you guys see the volume increase, the dividend rewards, the frictionless yield rewards, it's drastic. And it's actually quite impressive once the volume picks up and our expansion. Once we start our huge expansion, we should see the volume drastically pick up. And then you guys will start seeing these dividend rewards pretty impressive, along with the burn. We've already burned 40K, and we really haven't even started our expansion yet at all. That's pretty interesting, because if you look at our volume and let's say you simply 5x it, so if we're at like 5K volume, you're looking at 25K volume, which is really not that much. Now you're looking at 5x what we burn, that's 200K. You're looking at 50K. You're looking at quite a bit burned already. The supply is established to burn very efficiently. It was instructed to me by the developer that at some point, because it's going to burn so quick, that we're going to have a vote and shut it down, because it's going to burn too rapidly with the way we have it set up, which I think is pretty exciting for this year. And we'll see how it goes. We'll reevaluate the supply, and then you guys can decide on when we need to make adjustments. But as far as, guys, like the big picture foundational items, things are looking really strong right now. And that was the big thing that we focused on, was the foundation, because we have to have a strong foundation in order for expansion. You can't just expand. You can't just spend all this money on marketing without a very sound, enormous foundation. And that's what really we had to establish first. And before we start our huge expansion, and we put a lot of capital into marketing, because the idea is we don't want to see a chart that shoots up for a little bit because we're spending a ton of money on marketing, and then there's nothing to retain users. The idea is that we have an enormous foundation, a ton of utility. Expansion is continuous, and we're able to retain users and build users, and not just have this shoot up in price and then drop because people are jumping all over the place. We want to be able to retain users, holders, for long term, and continue to grow that user base with our expansion. Guys, let's tap right into it. Obviously, Unity Connect. So the deal with Unity Connect, everything's going well. Everything's going great. The issue was that our developer informed us a couple of days ago. He basically just said, hey, I have some human stuff going on in life. I wasn't able to meet the deadline that I gave to you, which we give to you guys. We talked kind of about this in the group. Whether we want to change that or not, we can talk about it later. But he basically gave us information. We gave it to you guys right away, pretty much. He had some human issues, or some normal life issues that came up that basically delayed him. And then he said basically that he's completing the UI, which is the biggest aspect of all of this, because Unity Connect is so complex. And now we're putting it on a UI to be a very simplified, to have a simplified user interface. So anybody, projects, whoever, can go on and add their chain seamlessly without much experience at all, which sounds great, but it's very complicated. But the whole idea is, like I said, we want people to be able to go on and add chains seamlessly. We're kind of using MetaMask as a template. It's not going to be quite as simple as MetaMask and quick, not yet, but it's pretty close. And that was the whole thing. And then we're launching MDAS, and basically all of Unity Ventures
really
as
cool.
well. So it's going to get redeployed a new chain. It's quite extensive, so really cool. You guys saw that DeFi Dash is getting enormous amounts of upgrades, guys. We just got notification from Change Finance and CoinGecko that they sent us a bunch of information, said like, hey, because of the plan and basically the partnership, we're not partnered with CoinGecko, but you guys understand what I mean. We have APIs, we work with them, and we integrate them into DeFi Dash, and they just basically upgraded their APIs heavily. CoinGecko did, and we just happen to be a wallet manager, have our application that uses CoinGecko APIs, and we also work with Change as well. Essentially, they both had some big upgrades, some big changes. It was really exciting. I just opened my folder or my email, I saw it, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be crazy. So we're basically doing a whole new rollout with DeFi Dash that is really gonna bring it up into an enormously competitive realm of wallet managers. It's going to be super exciting, guys. They're going to have a bunch of training features, losers, gainers. A lot of the things you see on CG are going to be right there in DeFi Dash. And as far as the bridge and other features as well, it's going to be a complete new rollout. ROI Pay is essentially getting the first layer of what we just saw with DeFi Dash. We're going to have the new charts in ROI Pay. You're going to have the point of sale feature in ROI Pay. There's a ton going on right now, and it's all really progressive, meaning that we are getting extremely competitive, guys. And it's really where you kind of got to take a step back and you got to look at it, because lately we've seen mid caps, higher mid caps, and we've received messages asking about MDAS and other development items. And essentially people are trying to look at some of our applications. I'm not going to mention names, but they're big names that everybody knows. And they're trying to figure out how to fork some of the stuff that we are doing. Now, I don't take that as a negative thing, guys. I take that as, hey, we're heading in the right direction. People are seeing some of the stuff. They're not saying anything, and they're asking questions directly. How exactly did you do this? But in a more subtle manner. And I was talking to some of our developers. I was like, guys, we're heading in the right direction. If we have mid caps, much higher mid caps, following our lead and trying to mimic some of our developments, because that's where we're at, guys. And that was the whole point. We want to lead at the tip of the spear now, and we're in a position that we can do that. Now we get to dictate what kind of problems are we going to solve within the space. We're in a really good spot, and we still have a ton of work to do, but the team is extremely motivated. We are very fortunate. Honestly, we never really knew if we were going to be able to have people working and contributing to this ecosystem that were going to be actually individually motivated individuals and passionate about the vision, where we're going, what we're doing. And then on the developer side, we're extremely fortunate because we have extremely talented developers, and we're able to basically retain all of this current present day and move forward. I'm going to finish on that. The next thing we should be looking at, guys, is our live stream. And then there's a ton more to talk about, but we'll talk about in either the main chat or we'll do another quick video and then shoot this off. Everybody have a good week, and I will see you guys in the main chat. All right, guys. Bye.